coming up. See how Gelbveih and Balancer cattle can add value to your commercial herd, next on The American Rancher. Welcome to The American Rancher. I'm Pam Minnick. Now more than ever, consumers want to know where their beef comes from. Today's ranchers show how Gelbveih and Balancer genetics, along with good animal husbandry, can increase profitability as well as produce safe, high-quality beef for demanding consumers.
We're Lee and Stacy Marriott. We're with Rockingham Ranch, Stover, Missouri, family-owned and operated business. I've lived here on this place my whole life. You know, we run a stocker business, cow-calf pairs. We run 400 or 500 head of mama cows. We've made a family business.
We're a family-owned operation. We've got 4 kids, and they all help with the cattle operation and the other different things that we have going on here. We've been married for 32 years, and we've raised Gelbveih and Balancer cattle for that entire time.
Super important to me, you know, that people drive to us, you know, wanting to buy some of our genetics. You know, that's a lifelong goal. And you know, we strive harder every year to do a better job of, you know, of what other people want.
I'm Matt Jarvis, and this is my wife Shelley, and we run Roland J Ranch, Phillipsburg, Kansas. We run Balancer cattle, mostly Gelbveih bulls, and we raise them from baby calves all the way to finish.
My husband Matt and I are a family operation, and we pride ourselves on raising high-quality beef and bringing it from pasture to plate.
Every day here on the ranch, our goal is to have a satisfied consumer in the end. I'm big on husbandry with the animal husbandry, making sure that they're taken care of right, low stress. And a lot of it's done on horseback and with my dogs. I mean, they're real quiet. Everything just usually works pretty smooth. At least we hope so.
Ranching is a great way to raise a family, and we enjoy eating beef, and we hope you do too.
Gelbveih cattle are widely recognized for their maternal strengths, such as fertility, longevity, and quiet temperament. Plus, they offer more pounds weaned per cow exposed. Gelbveih cattle also exhibit muscling and growth, along with feed efficiency that make Gelbveih influenced cattle valuable in all aspects of the beef industry.
Our cow-calf herd consists of mainly Gelbveih Balancer cattle. We've been in the Gelbveih Balancer business for 25 years.
And growing up, we were neighbors with some Gelbveih breeders, and so we kind of watched their herd, and we liked those red cattle, and so growing up we used some of their bulls, and then after Lee and I got married, we bought a group of red Gelbveih cows, Gelbveih cross cows from my granddad. So we brought them to Missouri, and that's kind of what started Lee and I's Gelbveih herd here in central Missouri.
We like the balancers. We like the Gelbveighs. They're good for fertile cows. They milk good. They're docile. They're gentle, and I think they dang sure wean a little bigger calves than some of the other breeds out there.
We really like the Gelbveih cattle. We looked at some other breeds over the years. We added some black cows to our herd, and we've ran some black Angus bulls and some red Angus bulls. We even had, over the years, we had a couple of horned Hereford bulls, but we always came back to the Gelbveih and the balancer genetics. We liked the way that the cattle act. We love the way that they grow. We just really like the breed for kind of their well-rounded, everything that they have to offer. A lot of breeds have a lot of great things, but we really feel like the Gelbveih and balancers give us a complete animal, what we're looking for. We are really interested in our cows being good mothers, staying in our herd a long time, and breeding back. So that's kind of what we have focused on, is really the maternal side of our cow herd.
We keep back all of our own replacement heifers, and we have gotten in the last 4, 5, 6 years where we sell a lot of replacement heifers. Heifers go, most of them locally, but this year we sent some to New York. A few years ago we shipped some to New Mexico, and we try hard to have a super good fertile cow family.
I like to keep my own females. I've tried to buy some in the past, but they just don't produce like mine do. They're fertile, they're docile, they milk well. They really do an outstanding job as a cow.
Coming up,
your job is to produce pounds of beef, so of course you have to have the Gelbveih balancer breed is just really a perfect fit for what we want.
welcome back to The American Rancher. When it comes to choosing bulls that exhibit strong terminal traits, Gelbveih and balancer genetics deliver. Balancer cattle are a cross between Gelbveih and Angus or Red Angus. Using Gelbveih and balancer bulls in a crossbreeding system can positively impact heterosis.
Whenever we go looking to buy bulls, we look for birth weight EPDs, especially on our heifers. We look for growth, milk, stayability, how long they're gonna possibly be in the herd. We don't want, the life of our cows. We've got cows that are 13, 14 years old.
When I first started my cow herd, I bought some balancer females, and they were bred to balancer bulls. And I really liked how the mothers mothered. They milked well, they're real docile, raised good stout calves. And so I continued that on and went and bought some balancer bulls.
The Gelbveighs and the balancers, we've found, the growth is there, and even if we get some tail enders at weaning time, a lot of them calves, time they're yearlings, will catch up. The growth's there. We look for yearling You know, the yearling weight is kind of our big thing, but we want them to be there when they're weaning, at their weaning weight also.
When we look at our females, and when we look at bulls, I guess it starts with the bulls that we look at, we are looking for good maternal ability. So we want them to stay in the herd a long time. They have to have good udders. They have to have good feet. They have to, again, it has to be a complete package. They've got to have, they have to breed back well. They have to have, you know, they have to have good milk, but not too much milk. So it's always a balancing act. And so we really feel like the Gelbveih and balancers, we can really, we can look at our bulls and we can look at their EPDs, and we deal with seed stock producers that we trust. And then we just went out and looked at some cows, and one of them, you know, there were several that were older in there, but there was a 13-year-old cow in there, looked great. She's getting ready to calve this fall. She's gonna raise another great calf. And that's what it all boils down to, is you wanna have those cows in your herd for a long time. And if you don't have the right building blocks in your seed stock and in your cow herd to start with, you're not gonna get that. They just aren't gonna hold up like that. So I think that for us, that's, you know, that's where we're at. You're always looking for the complete package. Your job is to produce pounds of beef. So of course you have to have good calves that grow well, that after you wean them, they take off and are ready to go to market when you need to sell them. So that Gelbveih also gives us that. So we feel like the Gelbveih balancer breed is just really a perfect fit for what we want.
Once a calf enters the feedlot phase of growing, Gelbveih-influenced calves excel in growth and performance. Today, feeders favor buying cattle with genetics that predict performance both in the feed yard and on the rail. A combination of marbling and a lean meat yield is often not an easy target to hit. Using Gelbveih and balancer genetics can help you get there.
When I first started finishing out my cattle, it was mostly because I had a buyer here and he told me that the Gelbveih breed wouldn't hang, wouldn't grade with the rest of them. So I went ahead that year and I finished them out myself. First time I ever did it, and most of them finished 92 to 93% choice or better. Very few 4s and 5s on the yield. They've just been outstanding. This year we actually sent one group of cattle to U.S. Premium Beef, and we had 100% of them were choice or better, 18% of them were prime, and we had no 4s or 5s.
I'm buying feeder cattle. I'm looking for type and kind, conditions big time for me, because I got to have the performance. It's very important that I have the performance in the feed yard and also the performance in the carcass merit. The market doesn't move a lot as far as what the cost per pound is. It just depends on what kind of pounds you're buying. So, for example, today I bought a really nice green set of cattle that empty, a lot of frame, got a lot of potential. Cattle that I can put a lot of weight on, efficient weight. And when I mean efficient weight, cattle that don't create a lot of yield grade 4s. If they got a little cross or something in them, I really like that, because we do grid a lot of cattle out of this facility, because like I said, we're trying to add value all the way through. And you're starting to see some rather wide purchase price differences within the same weight groups in some of these calves on these videos, and I think that's a reflection of, does this person have a program and a history, and is that history a good history or a bad history? And people are taking notice, because it's a very competitive world. There's not a lot of margin, and you have to look at everything. You have to have that predictability in order to spend the kind of money it takes today. Whatever part of the segment that a person represents, whether it be the seed stock, the cow-calf, the feedlot, or the packer, open communication lines need to be talked about, because I think that's the only way information gets passed. I think you can't expect, you have to ask. The seed stock has to ask how the genetics are working, and the seed stock customer needs to be asking the seed stock, how is this animal going to benefit me? Consequently, we do the same thing, and we pass a lot of information to our cow-calf people. Try to add value out every animal we buy if we can, so it's really important to get the right kind of cattle bought.
Coming up,
You can market your beef local, and that's always good. And to have satisfied customers, that's everybody's goal, I think.
If you're marketing feeder calves sired by Gelbveih Balancer bulls, give your cattle the Balancer Edge. Balancer Edge is the new source and age verification program from the American Gelbveih Association for calves sired by registered Gelbveih Balancer bulls and is backed by the industry's leading verification company, IMI Global. If you market feeder cattle, then you know that value-added programs can put more money in your pocket. Give your calves the Balancer Edge. For more information, visit gelbveih.org.
Balancer influence feeder calves at the pounds, make the grade, and deliver the value. Feeder Finder is a free email listing to source Balancer influence feeder calves. If you are looking to buy or sell truckloads of Balancer influence feeder calves, subscribe to the free email listing or fill out the form with the cattle's information at gelbveih.org. Feeder Finder, your source for Balancer influence feeder calves that add the pounds, make the grade, and deliver the value.
welcome back to The American Rancher. In true pasture-to-plate fashion, many people are looking for locally grown beef in today's beef market. Some producers are taking advantage of this market by taking their Gelbveih and Balancer beef to local meat lockers and selling direct to consumers.
We feed out some of our own calves. We sell a lot of beef on the hoof here, haul them to the packing house of their choice. And we'd like to get the marbling, the taste, the tenderness. We try to get all that in one. So far, the beefs we have sold, everybody is 100% happy, with the way we finish them.
So this year was a little bit of a challenge year. So I went a little different road. I started marketing a lot of my cattle straight to the consumer. We sold somewhere between 60 and 70 head just to local people. They apparently was real pleased with it because a lot of them have already wanted more beef next year. It's kind of opened up the door a little bit more. You're not stuck going to the packer. You can market your beef local, and that's always good. And to have satisfied customers, that's everybody's goal, I think.
I've been here at Harlan County Meat Processors 23 years now. I've been processing meat for roughly 30 years. We're a custom exempt plant, so we have several customers throughout the state of Nebraska and Kansas. We're probably a little over 1,200 customers that we deal with now. And we do our beef, pork, do some lambs and goats at times. Yeah, we teamed up here during the pandemic with Matt to help move cattle. The cattle that we've gotten in that the customers are getting, they're all grading right in the choice to hire at the time. So a lot of family members that usually just go to the grocery store, and now we're seeing the new individuals starting to go towards producing for the farmer, and the producers is where they're coming out and getting the meat now. So it's been a pretty good process, and teaming up with Matt and using his cattle, and they're just excellent cattle to work with. We like cutting them. They're easy to cut with, not overly fat, so they're just good cattle. Having
the consumers in the end just totally satisfied and happy, and it's been great to know that you're finally seeing that in the end product.
Creating a high-quality product all goes back to how cattle are raised and cared for. Cow herd management and proper animal handling is a high priority for individuals who make beef production their livelihood.
We live in a pretty challenging time right now in our lifetime with our different views out there, but I can guarantee you if we want to continue to expect people to pay for our product, and we're going to have to provide the quality and the taste and the accountability of how that animal is raised.
We have always worked closely with our veterinarian, and we have, I feel like, a very progressive veterinarian that he is, he's looking at prevention, not just treatment. So he has done a great job of working with us and the BQA guidelines. So we make sure that every vaccine is placed where it's supposed to be placed. We're very careful with how we care for our vaccines. They're kept the way they're supposed to be kept. Our handling, we make sure that the cattle are handled the lowest stress possible. We always strive to make sure that we're doing things the way they need to be done for the best experience for the livestock and the best experience for the producer, because in the end, we need people to consume beef and to buy beef and to feel comfortable that they are getting an animal that's been treated well, that's been treated correctly, and they can know for no uncertain terms that what's on their plate is good for them and it's been treated well.
And I think it starts more from about when that mother becomes pregnant, making sure she's got a good mineral program and a good nutrition program. And you hit the fetal programming in the second trimester, and that's a very important time for nutrition. And that just carries right with that calf all the way till the end product. And we try to maintain that all the way through that calf's life, and once he's on the ground with his mama, all the way on to till he's even here in the feedlot.
We're looking forward to our kids and our grandkids carrying on, because honestly, we have too few people in agriculture. And so we all have to make sure that we do a good job in promoting agriculture to the younger generation and doing what we can to keep the younger generation involved, because, we all gotta eat.
For more information about Gelbveih and Balancer cattle and the commercial programs offered by the American Gelbveih Association, visit gelbveih.org. That's all the time we have today. Thanks for joining us. For more information about us, visit our website, theamericanrancher.com, or connect with us on Facebook. I'm Pam Minnick for the entire American Rancher team. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.
Superior.